What is up? Good morning. Today we're going to talk about community, the importance of it, how it has affected people, their careers, relationships, opportunities, etc. The concept of supporting people. Those are going to be some of my questions for the people that are going to be at this community event. And it all starts with just challenging yourself and getting involved with a local community, connecting with others, helping to build, share, and create. So we're going to talk to some people about that today.
Be social after the event. And just make sure during the breaks, connect with your peers, right? Find out who's got what going on, who's got some problem to solve. Who's currently has an opening at their work or know of any openings for virtualization professionals. Okay, there's a couple. So if you're looking for work, I won't ask you to raise your hand, but now you know who's buying if you're selling, right? Okay.
It's happening already.
Yeah, it's happening already.
You're already doing it.
It's already happening. Why are you here today, Russ?
The community, right? So that's what we're all
value
here
do you
for.
find?
What value do I find?
Yeah.
The value that I find is these guys right here, the actual community itself.
This is the size of the community.
This is what.
So what are the benefits?
Benefits?
Why are we getting together? What's going on?
I think there's a lot of benefits.
What has
right?
come of this?
I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge open source fan, so I'm big on the community in general, right? So to me, community means a lot of different things.
Let's see a dance with the Lady Gaga real quick. Sorry, okay, back. So what were you saying as far as the community goes? I was so distracted.
Yeah, no, it's cool. We made it through that now. The dance is through. So for me, community means a lot of things. It's helped me personally and professionally, right? So honestly, like the SevOps group, that happened through community involvement,
That's true. Actually,
right?
the planning happened at a VMUG.
We did.
We did form it at a VMUG.
That
That's
is what
true.
we did.
I didn't even think about that.
So that has been huge. It's amazing. I participate in a million different Slack groups from different manufacturers all over the world, and I'm talking to other partners who are ultimately my competitors.
Yeah.
But we are helping each other
Right.
all the time because the shared knowledge gives us better access to what all of our customers are doing, and ultimately we're able to help the ones that we work with even better. So that helps me. It helps my customers. It helps products get better through different feedback mechanisms. So basically, just overall sharing in the community and the knowledge share is just huge for me in general.
That's right. There was some comments made at the beginning around job opportunities.
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean,
raise your hand if you're hiring. Raise your maybe not raise your hand if you're.
all right, fine.
right.
Just if you're in DFW specifically, I'm not looking for like Singapore, like the guy holding the camera.
Right. Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But here in DFW, could use another Core SE. Pretty strong in storage and virtualization. If you want to, come on over to SHL. Come on down.
And I've heard numerous stories about maybe customers that came to this and were challenged to present for the first time in a group like this, and then ended up, I think there's been a handful of people that have actually ended up on stage at VMworld after presenting at a VMUG for the first time, something like that. So curious if y'all have any thoughts around that, any experiences, the value that you guys see in something like this?
Well, I can tell you when I started my VCDX journey, one of the parts I was a little worried about was the public speaking component.
Yeah.
And volunteering to take over this VMUG, like 7 years ago, I directly attribute my success in the VCDX program with being up on stage here all the time and getting over jitters and all that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
As
challenging
well as,
yourself in a new way, right?
Yes, exactly. And then also just getting to know people out there, other VCDXs, improve my skill level enough to where I could attempt to do something that rigorous.
Awesome.
I think you have a good point there with like getting out there, like just the willingness to put yourself out there is in being involved in the community in and of itself is something that's difficult for people to do. Like it's hard. When I write a blog post, the whole time I'm writing it, I'm thinking to myself, man, someone's about to pick apart every single thing that I say.
No doubt.
Or we make a video.
Did I use too many commas again?
Yeah.
I got on, when we made our VMware Cloud and AWS video, I had dudes on my team saying, hey man, like I think you got that wrong. And I'm like, okay, well come tell me how you got it wrong.
Tell me how I got it wrong.
Yeah. And they're like,
Educate
well,
me.
no, I don't know if I want to do that.
That's right.
So putting yourself out there is huge. And I think that that's something that if you can get used to it, like he did and getting out here and go through the VCDX journey and all that, is really big for you. I think that's growth as a person, not just professional.
That's good across the board.
Yeah, 100%.
The community and the feedback, and I mean, Brad got me started here at the VMUG, and now I'm a VMUG leader, and gone to VMworld the last 2 years, and I had actually presented, for Bree Brown Bag out there, and so, like he was saying at first, I was like, timid and shy, didn't want to get out there, didn't know what I was going to say, the imposter syndrome and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, you get rid of all that stuff by just being out here and taking action and presenting and the immediate feedback that you get when you talk to your peers, like you said, that really helps you, and it helps you to develop as a person, and it helps you in your career, like the
100%.
VCDX right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think that
Only VCDX in this group right here that I know.
I think you're right about that imposter syndrome thing. I think there's a lot of people that struggle with that. But regardless of what your situation is and scenario, you bring value just from your viewpoint, whatever that is, right? And that viewpoint holds true for what you see and hear, right? And it's worth sharing. It's valuable from that perspective.
And I can attest to that personally because I haven't been in the industry that long, but the VMUG events are some of the larger kind of auditorium number of people sort of environments where you can challenge yourself to actually get up, talk to a bunch of people that probably do know a whole heck of a lot more about most of the things that I'm working on.
And it's a safe space.
People like
It's a
Brad,
relaxing environment.
But it's great because you get phenomenal feedback, and then they actually get to see maybe what you're good at that isn't just talking about VMware technology or talking about the technology you're presenting. You get a lot of really positive feedback from this group, and the VMUG community in particular is phenomenal. I mean, it's been a great place as a sounding board. It's been a great place to meet new people. It's been fantastic for networking. But then they also come together and they help people with problems outside of work context in general, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny to think about whenever you have the V community and all this stuff about putting yourself out there and getting content.
I think they just turned the music up.
Yeah, they did. They know we need more background music.
Hey, turn it down.
For those of us who are in customer-facing roles,
audio real good.
getting right in it, right? In a customer-facing role, we have this idea of having to establish credibility. I remember the first time I met Brad was actually at a customer meeting. And we're talking about NSX, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, who is this guy? And he started talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is incredible. And then I saw him at the VMUG, right? And so, but customers do this. They will look up, who is this guy? What do? I'm in meetings every now and then, and the customer's like, hey, just so you know, I looked you up, and I see your ridiculous videos and your blog posts, and I want you to know I now trust you more.
Yeah.
So like, the community aspect of that and getting out there is something that helps you in your image and helps you in a consultative role and knows that people can come to you.
It's almost like open sourcing yourself, right? If you put yourself out
It's
there,
like open sourcing yourself.
then
That's
you
the
get
headline.
community feedback.
That's the title of this video.
Okay.
It's open sourcing
Open source
yourself.
Can I get
yourself.
some more community contributions to this little stack right here?
That's right. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Help me improve.
Help me.
That's right.
So another part I think is super important is paying it forward. So if you've been involved in the community and it's done good things for your career, like it has for me, pay it forward. Like I love helping younger people. Like when I first took over the VMUG, I had a guy come up to me, and he had to be like fresh out of college, and he started talking to me. There's this really mean guy. He's called a DBA, and and he keeps asking for all this stuff. And so, but being able to mentor people and help them along, the guy went on to go get his VCP, and now he deals with more DBAs probably. Right.
So you didn't help him at all, is what you're saying. You caused him so many more problems.
Cool.
But knowing we're all in it together and having kind of a culture around what we do, I think is hugely important. So helping younger guys get their VCP, do that kind of thing, because it will pay off down the road.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And then getting out of your comfort zone, like we've been talking about, this really helps. I mean, back in December, we did our first hackathon here. I didn't know anything about DevOps or what to do. I mean, Brad's been doing DevOps stuff for years now, and I just was like, well, I need to get out of my comfort zone and understand what DevOps is all about. So the best way to learn is just by doing. So I threw a hackathon and got it together, and I just went to my first Austin DevOps Open Days too, and it's really good. So I mean, the whole thing about community and getting out there, it's great for your career. It's great personally, and the satisfaction is great. And then paying it forward, like Brad was saying, that's great.
Awesome. JT was breaking it down.
Which I'm not really sure why we're doing that right now.
I like the peer-to-peer networking side. I can talk to other people who have similar problems, other people who executed the upgrades that I'm about to do.
So how would you say that the community has benefited you, either personally or professionally?
Professionally, making connections to help me solve my problems, help me solve the problems at work. Encouragement to get certified, helping me study, those sorts of things.
Yep.
Career advice, right? And the VMUG especially, with some of the workshops that we've done,
Right.
it's been super helpful.
How long have you been involved with that?
I've been a member of the VMUG probably going back to like 2007.
Okay.
On the leadership team for about a year and a half.
Okay, so you've been emceeing for about a year and a half?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, MC, pretty face.
Yeah, that's right. The pretty face.
That's right.
So we were talking a little bit about how there's a lot of influence. You know, we're talking about open sourcing yourself, like putting yourself out there in the community. So when
Right.
as you took to this role of going in, getting on the mic, being in front of people,
Right.
was that difficult? Do you feel like it springboarded you? Did you do something else that prepared you for being able to be in
No,
front like that?
I think maybe I'm the rare case where it's the other way around. Where
Yeah.
I've just been fortunate in my career path to be successful.
Sure.
And maybe to have some opportunities, you know, and to work those opportunities to my advantage, and then to leverage that in a way that's relevant to others to help them. That because not everyone, you know, has the same approach. Not
Right.
everyone's even the same in their even workspace. Like, do they manage their career? Do they let the company manage their career for them?
Right.
You know, just the psychology and I would call it American work culture. whatever you
Yeah,
want,
no,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
Right. So, you know, I think there are people that have pushed hard to do more, maybe to be relevant, and
Sure.
then some folks are just happy to do a great job where they are and great at the role that the company needs them for. Doesn't necessarily prepare them for somewhere else. You know, that whole loyalty mindset, which is
100%.
great. But then the company can love you, but then the company goes under, right? And I kind of got woke up to that a little bit. But definitely connecting with other users.
Are you in a place that affords you opportunities to move and grow, and how do they foster it? And the community, I think, is a big part of that. Like, how do you find ways to foster it? Just like you started at the very beginning
Sure.
of the thing about who's hiring. I don't know if it was just me and Bewley who raised
Right.
our hands.
Right.
or what, But that's big, right? Is who can we get that's a part of this community and supports it to come and work alongside us and help bolster it?
I agree, they're important, and I think that you know, some user groups are great at that as a community, like they're at the personal level, not just the tech level. You know, but it's confusing too for a lot when you're running some of these groups or you're involved in these groups. You know, what is the content that's relevant to the community who's attending, right?
100%.
What's my demographic, right? How do we get more students? How do we get more women? How do we get more minorities? How do we get
Right.
you know these you know, because tech is maybe saturated in one way, or we hear that a lot, right?
Yep.
How do we help branch out? You know, because I don't know the connections you have with the people that you're talking to, right?
Right.
But I want to get them involved, and I want to be able to penetrate where they're at, right? To help them make the most of what is in front of them.
Right, you kind of get that strong network effect where
I
the
agree.
more it grows, the stronger you really are, you know,
I agree.
holistically.
And again, a lot of that is what people are putting into it as well. You're right.
It is.
You know, I mean, if you're coming to the events in order to really drive some value out of it, you know, for yourself or for your company or whatever, they're going to get the most out of it, no matter how great or not an event is, right?
Agreed.
Because they're looking to work that event, right? And then you have some people that just need an escape from work, but they're you know, without breaking their mindset. And how do you do that? You know, we're not psychologists; it's not their job. But you know, see, we're trying to focus that on a peer-to-peer, encouraging sort of, you know, methodology. Not really a mentorship, but just, hey, how can we help you be relevant? It's not wrong for you to want to do more. Not wrong for you to want to do great what you're doing now, if that's where you want to be. You know, if I'm close to the end of my career, I may be comfortable where I'm at. Want to be an expert where I'm at.
Yeah.
Why not stay here for 5 years? You know, and be great, finish on top. You know.
Valid question.
Right.
My big question for you is, how did you get to be so funny?
Genetics.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I come
It's
to the
just
VMUG for
genetics.
this guy, right?
Yeah,
the
right.
intros and the outros and the jokes in between.
That's right.
Yeah, we do try. I think, you know, it wasn't stuffy group before, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's just, you know, icebreakers.
Yeah, man.
Icebreakers.
You gotta lighten it up.
Yeah,
Let people know
absolutely.
you're real.
Absolutely, that's right.
Real for show.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get back.
All
Anything
right.
else?
Very
No,
good.
thank you, man.
I
Thank
need
you,
to sign
sir.
a waiver.
Do I have your permission for this to go on YouTube? Okay.
Your peers, get connected. Go get some business cards, right?
Now I'm headed over to Feed the Hunger, which is a community-based effort to package meals for people who don't have them, right? Emergency, disaster relief, etc. All kinds of communities out there. Get plugged in, help people, help yourself, challenge yourself, take it to the next level, lift people up, love people through your community, whatever it is. But get involved, get plugged in. It'll take you to new heights that you never thought possible. So do it.
Being a real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes, world on my shoulder.